What's up, robot weirdos? This is Charles with Rocket Punch Army to do another review. Finally, we got the number 1020 MS-06C Zaku 2 Type C, so on and so forth. I do say finally, it just means finally I get to sit down and do this, but I did receive this a while back, and almost in warp time. I got this from Supreme Collector. I ordered from them, and as always, immediate shipping. I don't even know how that happens. He was cool enough to also send me a sticker, which is in the form of the Chogokin logo, except instead of saying Chogokin, it says Supreme Collector. You can check them out at supremecollector.com. And just since I am mentioning them, they do have a Facebook page, which is really awesome. That's how I got to know Brandon over there, and it's really cool. Puts up pre-orders and pretty much for anything that you would want, and pretty much anything that I like to review on this channel. So thank you for sending this out quickly so I can delay it. But anyway, here it is, right? So we got again, the Zaku. So just a little backstory, because I'm going to get a lot of comments, people correcting me. I am not a Gundam anime fan. Doesn't mean I wouldn't like it, just I've not had the time to check it out either lately or when I was a kid. So this is more just nostalgic from it being around when I would collect stuff and build model kits. So just keep that in mind when I start talking about stuff. I don't know everything about this. If you're wondering what's going on with my background, I'm working from home, so my normal review area is full of monitors and keyboards and things like that. So doing it in the living room. So this is the back of the box if you haven't figured that out already. A lot of Spanish writing at the bottom, which, by the way, speaking of other languages, they made sure to say down there that it is designed by Tamashii Nations in Japan, but made in China. Alright, so old school Japanese toys were made in Japan. Now they're not, but at least they want you to know that it was designed in Japan. Anyway, enough blabbing. We will get into this and check it out. Alright, so these are the contents. You get an instruction booklet. You get the tray here with all the alternate hands and the little weapon accessories, and a big, huge stand piece that goes on this stand. All the other Gundams I've gotten, the metal composites or whatever, all the stands turn yellow regardless of whether you have them displayed or not. This is very white, so hopefully, if they change the formula on the plastics, otherwise this is eventually just going to turn yellow, pretty much like a beige. For those of you wondering why I would review robots, I get a lot of comments on that, of stuff that I don't watch. I don't need to watch the anime. Can I just like the way it looks? Can I buy a Lamborghini without knowing, the life of Ferruccio Lamborghini, whatever, all that stuff? Yeah, I mean, I like robots, so whatever. Here it is. One of the cool things about this is that the figure comes in this really soft plastic. I thought it was tissue paper, because sometimes it's tissue paper. It's actually a really, really soft plastic, which is really nice. I'm sure it's better than tissue. I guess tissue can be abrasive, and more than anything, I think this kind of material is used because the robot has a matte finish, which reminds me that I also am going to be using my gloves. I don't want to get oil spots on there, although there are some grease spots. I did get a chance to check this out quickly, but this is to further avoid any kind of damage. And the grease spots that are on there are from just manufacturing, so those easily wipe off. Alright, I'm going to carefully remove this guy, and also be careful when you first open it up. The plastic is caught in between these little hip guards or whatever, so I just want to be careful with that. And pop them out. It's got a nice weight to it. Speaking of weight, we're going to check out to see how much this guy weighs. I want to take a moment and thank my Patreon supporters for making this scale possible. Got it just for the channel because of you guys. So we're gonna well, actually we've got to take them off before we turn it on. Alright, let it zero out, and then we place it on here. Let's see if we can move up a bit just so you guys can get a better look. It's 352 grams and pounds. It's 0.775, so pretty nice weight. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but for its size, it's got a nice chunky feel to it. Yeah, I gave up on the gloves. The gloves are a little bit annoying. So let's just check out how nice the paint is on this. It's like a satin. It's not really a flat. It's more like a satiny finish. I always wonder what it's like to be in the manufacturing area for this. Like, I mean, it's so easy. Like, you paint a model kit and you get fingerprints on it. Like, these guys are mass producing this, and it's just like impeccable. There's literally no mess ups. The tampo printing is super amazing. Let's get up really close to it. I mean, look at, oh, can't really tell because it gets blurry, but it's really small. I mean, like, here's my finger. You know what I mean? Like, right next to it. So you can see how small it is. I don't know if you could judge. Look at that. It's really small. You can kind of make out the letters. Where else is there some more tampo? Right here. You can even see like the little dust on it. Look at that. You can see dust. You can see imperfections this way. You can look at the size of this little piece right here. You don't even see that. But, you know, obviously we're examining it close. You can see there's the dust. You can see the dust. But that at least gives you an idea of how small that printing is. Like, it's not really smudged. It's kind of amazing. And you can see the texture of the paint, which is beautifully applied. Now, before we head any further, I do want to show you guys the instruction booklet. This is it right here. It's printed on nice paper. Obviously, Bandai knows that you're spending good money on this, so they prepare you very well with instructions, which I tend to not ever read. But you get the parts that are associated with the kit. You get some warnings. Thank God they're in English too. And to tell you, parts of this product have been painted. Please take thorough care when handling the product, as there is a risk of scratching the product when assembling and operating it. So that's great. A lot of manufacturers are doing that right now. It does have a separate replacement piece to make the captain version or something. Again, not sure exactly what that's all about. I'm sure someone can let us know down there. And yeah, so you can do that. So you can have the two versions. Speaking of versions, you do get a nice little sticker sheet here, which I will not be applying. I usually don't like to apply stickers as they look like stickers. I know these are probably really thin and they look fine. I have built Gundam kits and the stickers are perfectly fine, but I will not be putting these on. I think it looks good as it is. You know what I mean? So I'm going to leave mine like that. And let's see if the rest is full color. Usually, oh, it is. Wow, the rest is full color. All right. So you get two different versions of the bazooka. You get a machine gun. You get this axe-looking thing. I forgot what it's called. I'll check in a second. You get two versions of those. And it shows you the articulation. So I'm going to take a look at this. I can show you guys the articulation on the figure. So one thing I've noticed is there's a lot of warnings, which is great. But it's pretty much for every movement. So I think they're just not saying that it's gonna wear off, but I guess be careful. But there's a lot of warnings. There's literally a warning for moving the head up and down, which I'll show you guys right now. Kind of elevates itself a little bit. So I think you just got to be careful. See, like there's no way that's gonna rub anywhere, right? Just push it back down. I do like this movement here on the shoulder. Whoops, where is it? The butterfly, I guess they call it. That's really nice. Let's see what it looks like from behind. And those are metal joints. So a lot of the heft does come from the metal joints, just so you know, if you're not familiar with these. I'm sure most of you are that are watching this. And then you got the articulation on the shoulder armor itself. You can see that. It's got a nice little joint right there. If you guys don't know my channel and previous experiences, I tend to suffer a little bit when it comes to delicate figures. This is what I believe to be very delicate as far as the finishes. I don't really play my toys. I like to display them, but I don't like to display them with a bunch of scratches. So I kind of suffer through these things, but this moves down just a tad. I don't know the point of that, but see how it's separated from there. These things move. You can see more metal joints. I mean, there's a ton of metal under there. Like literally, look at that. All that right in there. That's really cool. I like that. Metal doesn't always have to be on the outside. I wouldn't say prefer. I love to feel metal on the robot, but like that's usually on the big non-articulated parts, you know what I mean? Or the ones that have less detail, because you know, die-cast metal isn't the most precise molding, but plastic is. They do a really good job with this, but you can see that moves. There is an ab crunch, and they do warn of scratching. I guess that's why they put plastic back here. There's a little plastic piece of tape. I will not be taking it off, just so you know. And then also you have to be worried about the front scratching right there, so be careful. I'm not going to do much with that here. Let's move back to the armor up here. Pretty much the same kind of joint that the other side has. One of the cool things is, where is it? Where's it? If you spin this around, because it's actually, this is where the elbow is. If you bring it forward, this is one of the things I love about like Gundam anything. Some of the newer kits, when you bend the elbow, you can see this start to separate right there. It's kind of hard to see. Do I have to do that more? Hard to do, but I don't know. I guess you can see it moves. It slides down just a tad. I don't know how far it's supposed to slide down. Doesn't look like it goes any further than that, but that's like such minute attention to detail, isn't that? I don't know. I find that to be very cool. Again, metal here. Do have an upper bicep swivel, and also a swivel on the lower bicep. Okay, and then you got the hands on a ball joint. You do have a waist. I'm not going to spin it all the way around. Again, parts touching, but a good amount of movement, I guess. And then you got the upper thigh rotation. Always check to make sure you're not rubbing against anything. And I'm warning you guys a lot, but I don't want to see you spend your hard-earned money to scratch something up, especially a toy this expensive. If you want something to pose, I'm sure they got a bunch of plastic ones that you can use instead. All right, I'm going to give this a shot, bringing the leg forward. It does tell you to be careful right up here. Leg comes forward, and then when this bends, actually, now that you know the leg goes forward and out, by the way, very tight joints. I wanted to show you this too. On the knees, look at the way that separates. I love that. I mean, look at the design of the whole thing. I mean, like, the engineers are just amazing. This stuff you normally don't find. I mean, you do, but you don't. You do from the same company, which is Bandai. They always make cool stuff like that, but just nice to see. And you do get the ankle here, and then this little piece also moves independently on its own. You do get like 3 segments here. You can kind of see how that separates there. And it's got a nice rubberized feel. They put rubber, like that rubber coating. Just realize that it doesn't feel like paint. It feels like a rubber coating, which is very soft. And in case you didn't already know, there's a lot of metal joints in there. And the feet do pull down a little bit further to give you more articulation. There's a couple things I want to show you going on with the chest. And to allow you to do that, it's a really stiff joint, but there's that little circle. It's got like a arm that goes out. So when you bring the leg down, that arm comes down with it to give you more extension. It's kind of hard to do. I'm trying to see if I can show you guys, but the arm just came down. You can see the arm back there, but you can see it opens up the hips a lot more, gives you a lot more view of the hip area metal, and then you just bring it back up. It's really hard, guys. This is making me nervous. Now, to access the chest, you just got to bring the head up like I showed you before. Grab this little piece here, and you kind of have to lift. It's hard to do. You got to lift before you bring down. Otherwise, you're going to rub right on this, and it won't even open. So you can open that right there, and then these 2 things go up. I don't know what kind of fingers you have to have. Let me see if there's a tool in here. Of course, Bandai hooks you up so you can slide these little doors up. Isn't that amazing? Like, why even have that? But it has it. And then obviously you could bring them back down. But you can see the cockpit. Let me see if I can get in there a little closer. There you go. You can see the little cockpit in there. I think that's such a good attention to detail. It's unnecessary. I mean, they could have gotten away with it, but now that they did it, very cool. One thing I'm going to recommend when you do put this back down is to separate, or even open it, just separate these little 2 pieces. So I was having trouble putting that in. Just be careful. Again, it's got that rubberized coating. You can snap them over. I'm going to attempt to take this top part off just so I can show you guys something. Alright. This comes off, I think. But anyway, while we're here, you can move, whoops, way too far. Move the eyeball, little optic, whatever you want to call it. which is kind of neat. It's kind of hard to do that in small increments, at least while I'm recording. I can't get the eyeball back. I was getting a little OCD there with the eyeball not being centered, but I got it. And then this part, unfortunately I did off camera, but I pulled up. You got to pull up with an uncomfortable amount of force, but I wouldn't say it's anything that would feel like it's breaking. You got to take this part off and swap it with this one here. It looks like it does come with a spare little crest thing here, so you do want to be careful anyway. It's a good thing they do have a spare in there. I usually do that with the Gundams also, but there it is. Went in easy enough. Don't think I'll be leaving it because yeah, I'm sure I'll snap it off somehow. What's amazing to me about Bandai stuff is like the molding precision. This doesn't even look like it would come out. It just looks like a molded line. That's how precise the molding is, which very appreciated. Now we're going to take a look at the machine gun. It does require using an alternate hand, which is included, and also sculpted and painted nicely. And you got to attach this top piece here also. Alright. This you can bring down. Check this out. This is freaking amazing. Look at this. Wow, the scope opens up. I mean, they could have just molded a separate piece or just not even have included this part here. Focus. Focus. Attention here. Right? I mean, they could have just, you know what I'm saying. Once you remove the hand, it just pops off. It's not even really a ball joint. It's just like a little snappy thing there. You can attach this. I hate attaching stuff on camera because usually that's when I break stuff. Alright, so there we go. We attach that. Looks a little awkward because the elbows are not in the right position. There we go. Still looks awkward. Does come with two bazookas. We're going to get one of these set up with all the accessories that need to be attached, and we'll show you how it attaches to the figure. Alright, this we're going to take off the back, then pop this one in, this back piece here, and then one of the cartridges. How does it go? This way? Yep, just like that. And just like the machine gun, the scope opens up. It's got this little claw thing. It's articulated. I'll show you what that does in a second, but all you do is attach it to the bazooka. And this little post goes right back here. That allows you to bring the bazooka over from around the back. It's a little awkward. You'll notice I didn't really put the hand in there. I'm not really going for the whole full look, but you can, according to the instructions here, but requires a lot of adjusting. Just something I'm not willing to do right now. You can attach the bazooka on either side also. There's also another port there. You can also bring this piece down. It's a little weird to get out, but what I did is I crunch them over a little bit, just make sure again on the other side not to scratch anything, and bring this down. And it's also got a little port thing here for you to attach the bazooka like so. Just don't like how these things you know, kind of fit like tight around this. This has a matte finish, but just know you can put it in there and display it that way if you want to. And the armor was designed to accept the cartridges here. You just have to clip them on. And you also get these that can clip on also. They'll use up 2 little spaces, whereas these only use 1 little tab. Alright guys, and we get to these axes here, which according to the instruction booklet translated, it's called a Heat Hawk. You got 2 versions, okay? We're going to go ahead and show you this one here. It does come with the hand to hold it. As a matter of fact, there's a few alternate hands. When you're going to be wearing this on there, you can add this little clip here, and then you can attach it to the mounting point, whether it be on the back here or on the sides. In this case, I'm going to put it on the side here, or the back, just to show you. You get these axe holding hands. You get the trigger hands. So you get machine gun and bazooka ones. You get the open hands also. Here's the other alternate one. You guys are in for a special treat because I'm actually going to show you the stand. Stand is easy enough. Just pop it in. It does snap in. And just like pretty much every other robot, the stand goes right into his crotch. Here it is. This allows you, he's leaning over because I didn't adjust that correctly, but let's see how far he goes over. Keep going. You didn't fall yet. That's dangerously close to tipping over, but I trust the stand to hold him up. But that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, you know, from a non full-blown Gundam follower, just I love the designs. This has been a review of this toy. Hopefully this is enough for you guys to understand how high quality. I only mentioned it 1 trillion times throughout, but I like it. I don't even need to be a fan to just think this is just of the higher end of robots. You know, we all know the quality of other stuff, but I have to say this is above and beyond most things out there. It's very hard to find anything that would be of better quality. But that's it. If you guys want to pick one of these up or anything coming out in the future, make sure you check out Supreme Collector on Facebook. If you're not a Facebook person, you can just go to supremecollector.com and check that out.